Hey guys, Disco here, and this is probably some of the most nervous I've been for a video in a while. So I quickly, before I kind of explain what we're doing here, I got this notification for this video while I was busy, so I wasn't able to do the video right away. It's like a number of hours later. And when I saw the title, I was excited but also nervous because of all the problems that have been going on. Today, I am reacting to the Dead by Daylight Quality of Life Initiative for August of 2025. I looked at the description and it says that this will cover some of the end of year stuff and some 2026 quality of life stuff. And I looked at some comments, and the comments were kind of dumb. The comments were mostly just people complaining about the live stream that happened still. For those who don't know, I didn't watch it. I didn't have a chance and whatnot. But apparently they did a live stream. Behavior Interactive did a live stream that involved a guy named, I think it was like Chandler Riggs or something like that. I don't really know who he is, but apparently he was a child actor for The Walking Dead that got fired because I did not want to pay him an adult wage. And then he's kind of gotten, and then he's been involved with some Walking Dead projects, but only as like a voice actor for a couple of things. Like he's never like appeared since or anything. Apparently the live stream was so bad, even when they were making it, that apparently, according to some comments that I saw, Chandler just straight up left the building. Like, apparently during the live stream, that Behavior had to like celebrate the Walking Dead chapter and to kind of celebrate like some other things. Chandler apparently just left. He just left, and then they kind of scrambled with the rest of the live stream to just like talking and stuff. Also, a big thing that people in the comment sections and just online in general have been talking about is the YouTuber slash streamer that is probably one of, if not the most beloved person that makes videos in the entire community of Dead by Daylight. It's Darva. He apparently gave some suggestions because he was aware that something bad could happen, and apparently they didn't take his suggestions at all, and something bad did happen. There are people that defend Behavior a little bit, was that, surprisingly enough. In the comment section, I saw someone who was doing that on this video, basically saying that the reason why Starvo was not really taken seriously or whatever was because Behavior had already like people in place and for other things, and that there wasn't really a feasible way for them to have done what Odds had suggested. So apparently the big thing that happened in the live stream, besides Chandler just straight up leaving and Odds' suggestions not being taken into consideration, is apparently during the live stream when they played the game, they actually got hacked. The game got hacked by some hackers. The game was unbearable. The game was unfun. And something that people get very pissed off about with Behavior, because this is something that's happened, I think, a couple of times, is if you don't bully the developers, then I guess like certain major changes don't happen. The example I've always heard is, I don't remember the live stream at all, but apparently there was a time in the game where flashlights were unbelievably broken and busted, and Matthew Cole, or however you pronounce his name, he is a developer that a lot of people like, because he reaches out, because he's the guy who's in charge of getting the license, of like reaching out to license holders and whatnot. Like, he's the guy who gets us the licenses, basically. But yeah, so he played a match during his live stream. He literally basically didn't get to play the game. And then after that, some of the people that were with them, he like kind of forced them to play. We're like, okay, so now that you've seen how bad it is, what are some changes we can expect to this, or something like that. And apparently, because of that live stream being very bad with hacking and whatnot, a lot of people in the comment section called this their apology video. Though they don't apologize apparently to Chandler or Otts, but and the reason why people say that this is their apology video is because this released after they posted a thing on X saying that they were sorry, and after the hacking and stuff happened. So just like that old live stream from years ago where Matthew Cole literally basically didn't get to play the game because he got flashlights done the entire time and literally could not play. Something similar to that happened in the sense of a very huge problem in the game that players have been talking about for a long time that hasn't been addressed yet by behavior comes to life and happen during a live stream, and then that leads to a change. I'm sorry for all the rambling. I wanted to express why I'm so nervous going into this, and because a lot of this seems to have to do because of that live stream they did with Chandler and Oddstarva and a number of other creators that I've never heard of in my entire life before. So that's why I haven't mentioned any of them, because I don't know who they are. I literally don't know, so I can't comment on them. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just rip this band-aid off and finally react to this quality of life initiative. I just want to say real quick, I don't understand that wording, because the quality of life initiative I thought was for the entire year. They already implemented some of that stuff. And then the one chapter release, this being the Walking Dead chapter, like, horribly ruined stuff. We're talking like perks that got kill switched, and the perks before they got kill switched led to a employee at behavior accidentally pissing off apparently everybody with a statement they made to a player that just pissed everybody, that led to behavior changing, which led to behavior apparently moving forward going to be changing how the kill switch thing works. Like, I'm telling you, like, what's really frustrating about this company is if they are not, like, if something does not happen, it's like a very reactionary business practice. In the sense that, like, if nothing bad happens to a developer while playing the game or whatever, or like a employee pissing off everybody or whatever happens, then they don't do certain changes. They do take our suggestions, and they are always fixing things that players want. But the problem is there's certain changes that they just don't get to, or they have plans to get to, but it's like a while off. And then something like the live stream that happens, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is actually a bigger problem than we thought. Now we have to do this like right now. And it amazes me every day how this game is not only still going, still very popular, but just able to still get like license holders and do a number of other things. Like, this game and just how the community acts with this game and how behavior to an extent acts when it comes to the game. I don't understand how the game is still around, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if within the next few like years or so, the game is finally no longer like accessible or something. I would hate it, but I could see it potentially happening because they were doing so well for years, like in the sense that like there was a couple years there where people were excited for their changes, and then this year, like, it's been for like a couple of months in this year especially, it's been such a mess, and it's kind of felt like they've reverted back. So without further ado, I'm very sorry about all the rambling. Let's finally react to this thing.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here.
So this is Eric. I noticed Eric here is in a lot of the videos, and he's the community director. I believe what that means to an extent is he is the guy who, like, either, I forget if he interacts with fans online or stuff, but like community feedback and stuff, I believe, goes to Eric, and then he gets it to the rest of the team. And he is joined with Jose Ramos. I'm sure they'll say it. I keep forgetting about this new setup of theirs. I kind of like it, but it says he is a VP executive producer, so he's pretty high up in the company, and in terms of making the game. I'm praying Jose here and Eric have some very wonderful things to share, because if they don't, I think they have they have a ton of problems right now, and I'm praying they do what needs to be done, and they address some
in
of it
our
here.
live streaming space. This is not a live stream, but we've recorded this for you rather than throwing another big wall of text at you. We thought that would be better to see us face to face, and instead of spend our time apologizing, actually spend our time talking about some actions we're going to take to make things better in the world of DBD.
Oh my god, it is an apology video. God damn it. Why? Why do you do this to us? I think it's interesting that I think it's better, in my opinion, I think it's better that they went for the apology video because like I mentioned earlier, they tweeted something out or posted whatever the X term is, I don't know anymore. But they put something on X like apologizing, and it was like 2 paragraphs. I did send it to Orange. I don't know if he I'm sure Orange saw it, but I don't know how much of it he read or has seen. I'm not sure how aware of some of the stuff he is. We haven't talked a whole lot. He's been doing so. I'm not really sure what he's been up to. I've been incredibly busy though, so there's my excuse. I've been super busy and haven't had time. But the fact that the fact that Eric just inadvertently said it was an apology video concerns me and worries me. It's looking a lot like that old stream that I mentioned to you guys, where because of something that bad happening, they like led to changes. Most of the comment sections are people that were pessimistic and were just, I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing. And I get that, but I'm hoping whatever, and I guess they don't elaborate with some changes. And people were upset about that. The video is only 7 minutes. It's a little under 8 minutes. Which kind of sucks. I feel like it would have been better if they would have made it longer and apparently go into the details that they didn't yet. But I'm hoping we'll get those details soon, and I'll try to make videos as quickly as I can about any updates that they might post on Steam or on YouTube. So that way, for any of you guys who care, you can be aware of that with me, and Orange can be aware of that for me if he wants to be. I think he mostly gets his news from us, though, so that's fair. And I promise there should be less rambling in some of those future ones. It's just I'm worried about this.
So we brought on our executive producer, Jose. And,
okay.
Jose, why don't we get into it?
Yes, thanks, Eric. Hey, everyone. So the way we are going to approach this conversation a little bit is we are going to essentially split it in 3 parts. We are going to discuss what we're going to do short term, mid term, and a little bit more long term in order to give you more visibility and more direct actions on how we plan to improve the situation.
I'm scared.
Yes, so getting right into it, in the short term, we have been able to introduce an additional hotfix release, which we're calling Hotfix 3.
Okay. See, this is the stuff I want to see. I understand. I like having them. I like hearing them talking. As well. But this is kind of the stuff I want to see. So it says Phase 1, which is August and September. They're adding a third bug fix patch, which I believe might be that Phase 3, or maybe not, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw something about this, but I was unaware of what it meant. So apparently they postponed the PTB to early September. From my understanding, some people think that will be another license chapter. I don't think it is. Maybe, I don't know, but apparently that PTB that got postponed to early September will be a chapter. That's a chapter 1, so I'm excited to see what that chapter is. But I like how they postponed it. I think postponing it was kind of the right thing to do, just because they've been really dropping the ball lately. So focus. Let's see what the focus is. Address issues introduced in the July mid-chapter. So what I'm assuming some of those will be the free perks that got kill switched. And then, of course, that will also probably be, in addition to the kill switches, that will probably be their, the kill switches, and there was a number of other things that happened, with certain killers and whatnot. So they'll probably be addressing some of the killers who have problems, like Clown maybe, but definitely the kill switch perks and the fog vials, I would imagine, are going to be the two major things that will address. Extra polished time on upcoming original chapter. I think that's fair too. There, again, like something bad happened, and now they are trying to address it, but in a way that is very reactionary. And I think giving extra polish time is a good thing to do. But at the same time, it's like if they don't address certain bug fixes people really want to see, or like deal with hacking or whatever, people are going to get so continue to be upset. And again, I'm worried for this game's future, especially because of what happened with the July mid chapter and also that live stream. So phase 2, which is October to January, that is a number of months, which is kind of crazy. So one action that they are doing is they are postponing the November chapter content to January. That is very unfortunate. And the reason why I say that is very unfortunate is because they usually do like 4 chapters a month, with some and of course they started doing like mid chapter releases as well. But the 4 big ones are always usually in March, May, technically August. A lot of times it was like late August, but that one didn't happen. That one got pushed back, and like November, and that one also got pushed back. So that's kind of interesting. Focused November release on bug fixing and winter vet. I think that's a good thing to do. Again, they said earlier in the year that they would be focusing less on chapters and more on fixing the game. And I think I think these are some okay actions to do. By postponing chapters, it gives them obviously their team have more times to work on. Obviously, their team has more time to work on those chapters, which is always a good thing as well. But their team also should have more time to implement bug fixes and to continue to fix things and try to fix certain perks or fix certain characters or whatever. I'm okay with this overall. I think all of that, the only thing that players really want right now is essentially results. We want to see it happen. We want to see the changes. We want to physically have the changes happen. And this is all just words rather than actions so far, because the actions haven't happened yet. This is just explaining what the actions will be. So the focus is fixing of high priority / impact killer issues. That is definitely a good thing to focus on. The shape gameplay update, I am unaware of what that will mean, and I'm scared for it. There is an achievement that me and Orange have been struggling with that involves the shape. And obviously, if that works out, I understand people don't like his gameplay. I do like his gameplay. I'm just worried they're going to, really horribly mess him up. But we'll see what they do. That's not till October for January. Somewhere in between October and January, apparently. So, slugging, tunneling, and camping update. That is honestly a big pet peeve of mine. I hate all 3 of those things so badly with a burning, fiery passion, to the point where the fact that they have done so many things to supposedly fix all 3 of those, and they still aren't fixed, and there's still viable strategies for toxic players, and there's still things killer players continue to do, really pisses me off. I am the kind of player with this game who would much rather just get absolutely curb stomped by the killer in a way that doesn't involve slugging, tunneling, or camping. Anytime I see a killer do any of those things, I am behind the screen talking shit. I don't type anything. I'm not that kind of person. I don't type anything in the chat. I don't start putting stuff on their Steam profile or whatever. No, but I'm talking shit to myself about them because I hate those strategies. There's a reason why a lot of people consider slugging, tunneling, and camping to be toxic killer play styles, or at least things toxic killer players do. And to see that they are going to be continuing to update that does make me happy, but it also makes me worried because everything they've done so far has not been enough to kill those three things. But before I keep rambling on, I do apologize. Finally, we get the phase 3, which is February onwards. So the action is to quality of life focused March release. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot. So obviously they're going to be focusing on that March chapter, which is there. And it sounds like they're really going to be prioritizing some quality of life improvements, which we desperately need right now. The focus is fixing of high priority / impact gameplay issues, which is huge. There are so many of those. I am unaware of all of them because I don't play the game as much as I did for like a few years of the channel existing. I am unfortunately super busy. I do not have time to play, but I hear things from Orange here and there about it. So that will be huge to see. Adjusted ETA, MMR rework. I am unaware of what that means, but I'm not the biggest fan of the MMR system right now because you play against like a wide variety of MMRs, and it's just not fun for me anymore to just get kills, to get 4K'd by the killer every game. You know what I mean? It's just not fun. Like, I want variety, and unfortunately, I'm just not getting that right now, which is another reason why I don't really play. The prestige rewards, which is something they've been teasing for a while, and of course, perk preview in matches, which is also something people have been wanting, and they still want to. And then, I don't think you guys can see that very well, so I'll just go ahead and read here. But at the bottom, under the subtitles, from YouTube that are up there, it says seasonal and special events will remain on schedule, and then below that, in very little word like coloring and whatnot, it says dates are subject to change based on development needs. So
very creatively. That'll come out in a couple more weeks, in the week of August 25th. That will address more
That's
of
next
the
week.
issues and bugs that unfortunately were introduced with our July release, and give us a little more extra time to polish things up. The fallout of that is we get to push back our PTB for our next chapter release a couple weeks as well. That will allow that team some extra time to do some extra polish on that chapter, which is shaping up really nicely. It's the one we spoke of at PAX. This is our folklore chapter. It's our original.
Oh, yeah,
chapter.
that
It's looking
one.
really cool.
The
So
folklore.
that team
I'm
gets a
excited
little
for
extra
that.
time for polish as well. And then in the medium term,
So in the medium term, we are going to discuss a little bit about the November release specifically. So in November, we are planning to bring a pretty amazing license chapter as we presented in the annual roadmap. In order to bring that chapter to a really high level of quality and stability, but also to bring more focus on bug fixes and quality of life, we've made the decision to move the release of this license chapter content from November to January, and to merge it with the mid-chapter release that we have in January. That doesn't mean we are not going to have a release in November, but that release in November is going to fully focus on bug fixing and quality of life,
That's
in
interesting
addition to have the winter event.
Push that back,
That's
but
right.
I think it's
so
fair.
there will be a focus on killer issues and bugs, which we know have been piling up, as well as some more improvements on camping, tunneling, and
I just want to say, I love how they say, like, we're aware of these issues, and then I'm going to come back to this video in, like, 5 years and be like, these idiots keep breaking their goddamn game. But, like, I hope you guys can understand, if any of one made it this far in the video, which I highly, highly doubt. We've barely watched the video. I've just been complaining. But, like, I'm hoping you guys can understand my complaints, my issues, my worried, like, why I'm so worried. It's not because I don't want them to succeed or anything like that, but it's just because, like, I'm scared because they have unfortunately kind of dropped the ball to an extent for, especially with that July mid-chapter release and then the live stream and, like, a number of other things. So
Indeed.
among other things. things.
Yes, most of the things that you saw in the first quality of life video that we did are still there. You mentioned the slugging, the tunneling, the camping, very much there. There are a
Thank
few
God,
things
'cause I
which will
hate
not be
those
part
so
of that
much.
November release that we are going to discuss a little bit as part of this phase 3.
Yep. So speaking of phase 3, this is a bit longer term, but not that far. We are looking at a response to something I hear a lot in the community, which
Okay.
is behavior, slow down on the content and fix your game. So
We wouldn't be complaining if you would just fix your fucking game, bitch!
I think we're going to do that.
Yeah, so it's something which was not really visible when we did present that annual roadmap, where we saw and we could show that there was not going to be a killer in the March release.
Oh, interesting.
And that's a big deal. That's a big difference between killer are very resource heavy in order to make them at the quality level we want them to be.
That's fair enough.
And so
That
not
makes
having
sense.
a killer free up an amount of resource and space, which is going to bring so much focus on, again, bug fixing, on gameplay issues, long-lasting gameplay issues, and on quality of life. So it's going to give us more bandwidth than ever
I
in
think
order to
that's
make
fair,
this a
honestly.
large focus.
We do have really good progress already done, though, on an upcoming map for that chapter, right? So we're going to see about keeping that.
Yes, so right now the plan for this release is to have a survivor and a map.
Okay.
We are going to decide and challenge ourselves, if I may say, in terms of whether or not we are bringing a survivor. Survivor brings perks, and perks can be time consuming in terms of finding the right balance. The map is progressing really well. It's going to be a very exciting new realm that we think people are going to enjoy a lot.
That's
So
good.
right now our plan is to keep that map. It's important to always find the balance of still having something exciting and new to experience, and we think this map is going to be quite influential in that sense. But
good.
not having a killer and potentially not having a survivor is going to free up a lot of space.
I'm curious.
Fantastic.
I'm curious if they don't add that survivor, right? If progression keeps going and they basically decide we can't release the survivor, I'm curious if we'll still get them. You know what I mean? I'm curious if they would just go like, okay, we're axing this character completely. We're axing the survivor complete. Or I wonder if maybe they will still give us the survivor and potentially give us whatever killer they may have or had planned at one point, maybe to give us was the survivor. I don't know though. Like, I would like to get the survivor if we can. It's always cool to have new characters, hear new voice lines, stuff like that. But at the same time, I think just slowing down and like take maybe like, because they've been releasing a lot of characters the last couple of years. You know, you have like the 4 major chapters, and then of course was Nicolas Cage in The Walking Dead, and I think at least one other that I can't think of right now. Those were like sort of mid chapters. Those were smaller chapters that they gave us in between the big ones. And I really do think that that's a lot. Like, again, like, I think it's fair that they want to push back that November chapter, that they might potentially, that they didn't want to give us a killer for that March chapter, that they might potentially not give us the survivor even. I think that's fair because, as they kind of mentioned, like, making not only killers, but, like, characters in general is so resource heavy and whatnot. And if they could pull resources that they have going to those and put those towards quality of life, like, they could probably get a lot more quality of life stuff done and, like, on time, because they'd have more of their team members, like, they have more team members on deck, basically. They'd have more team members who are able to, like, help fix that, or at least, like, polish characters, right? Polish killers, polish survivors, polish maps, polish that kind of stuff more, so that way there's as few bugs with those characters as possible when they launch. I really do feel like, to an extent, what they are presenting has a lot of good things in my opinion. But because this community is a very whiny community that sees all these problems, that just thinks behavior doesn't hear the issues, or that they aren't aware, or that they don't want to fix them. of course, we're not. Of course, as a community, we're not going to believe any of this is happening until it happens, or until the game actually does get like better. But I'll say that at least on paper, it's. I think they have a good plan. I'm wishing them the best of luck. With that, I think I'm more optimistic about this than most players, and I'm kind of happy about that because I understand to an extent how hard it is to make games and stuff. I have taken a like computer coding class once, and I did not understand what the hell was happening. I very much struggled with it. I needed a lot of help because I struggled so much. And to have not only that experience, but also Orange, who has made a couple of games. He's showcased, I think, at least one on the channel. He has a couple others. I think he has like, last time I knew, he had two. He's to some extent, but not like, to some extent, but not much, like, been working on. Like, and not only that, but like, so I feel like I can give developers a bit more slack than seemingly any other player. And again, I'm optimistic for them, and I'm hoping all the developers in the team and whatnot, just good luck. So
we'll have a whole release focused on quality of life.
that's good.
Before we wrap up, you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, there were some things that we've announced previously for the Quality of Life initiative that we want to update on.
Yes, so there are 3 topics that you can see on the asset, which are but potentially right now that's a plan in the March release as well.
Okay.
So one is the MMR matchmaking
Right.
revamp. So this one is quite important. Doing the matchmaking correctly is something which matters a lot for players to have a good experience.
Yeah, because I have a shitty
And
experience
we have
right
done
now.
quite extensive user research discussion with our consultant and content creators, and we think we need more design iterations in order to be where we want to be.
Right.
So releasing it before the end of the year, we will not have been confident with bringing a solution which is going to be something that our players love. So that's one.
Yeah, and I've actually heard
interesting.
it discussed internally of what we
Interesting. So the reason why the MMR rework got pushed back so far is because they were aware they couldn't release what people like wanted. Essentially, they couldn't it sounded like they couldn't release something that they knew would satisfy players, and I think that was a smart decision on their part. If they were aware, hey, we don't have the time, we don't have enough time to finish like our plan for this, or to get it where we want it to be for players to have a good experience, let's postpone it. And I think because the idea MMR is something that is a big reason for why I'm personally very happy I don't get to play the game much because of my busy schedule, right? Because like I've mentioned, like me and Orange, we have really bad experiences more often than not. We have very rough matches more often than not. It's a miracle if we ever have a not rough match. And if this rework to the MMR goes well and is successful and works, I could see me and Orange and just this channel in general. Like I could see us not only making more Dead by Daylight channel like content, even if they're not like edited or great, but also I could see us doing more fun videos, right? We've had an idea at one point in time to maybe do some sort of achievement hunt video idea thing, where I think we were going to use one of my account for that, and we were just going to essentially see what achievements we were missing and try to go for some throughout the videos. That's an idea we've considered. I'm not saying we're gonna do that ever, but if we ever do decide we want to do that, or that's something we could do, I could see a really good MMR rework being something that will really help us out with that. And obviously any like gameplay updates to any killers that have achievements we're missing, or like whatever. And not only that, but like I have those reworks. I have the that Prestata achievement series that I haven't updated or talked about or done in a year now, or so. I think it has been a year now. And that's partly because of the MMR rework. Also, how busy I am. I do have 2 survivors currently ready for it, but I don't have time to film the videos, unfortunately, right now. So, but like, it was a nice MMR rework. I could really see us getting some more videos out for you guys that involves gameplay of this
We're
game.
working on was an MMR update. With the feedback we got on what we did for the MMR update, it's now really much more of a revamp.
Indeed.
That's I think that's
I
I
will
think
not
that's
go into
better.
too much of the details right now. That will take a long time,
Yeah.
but that's something which for us
I
is
just want to say that statement he made right there of that they don't want to like give any details on the MMR rework because that would take a lot of time and they're just not whatnot. There's so many people in the comment sections bitching about what he just said right there. Let's play it again because that's how much people hate that sentence.
I will not go into too much of the details right now. That will take a long time,
Yeah.
but that's
See, that sentence right there. I will not go into too much of the details right now. That would take a lot of time. So many people in the comment sections are bitching about that statement. And it's like, I get it. I do get it. But, like, I'm hoping... I really hope that not only do they address, obviously, the Chandler and the Oddstarva thing that happened during the stream itself. I think they really should just take accountability for that because they haven't so far yet. They've just kind of pushed the live stream and what happened there under the rug so far. Though they have mentioned the July mid chapter of like major like problems, or at least that they were aware of them, which is huge. But I'm really hoping they over the next couple like months or so, or just in general, I'm really hoping they start like really trying to let people in, let people see like what's going on, where they're at with certain things, why continue to like give us updates and like go into more detail than what they decided to here. So that way everyone can be on the same page, and that way hopefully this game will get into a better position.
something which for us is very exciting because we think it's going to push the right type of behavior to be kind of rewarded, and that's something which is quite exciting for us. The 2 other topics are perk preview in the lobby. So that's also been a conversation as part of the first quality of life effort. We showcase the perk preview for yourself in the lobby. But of course, one of the big conversations is, can I see the perks of the people I'm playing with as a survivor? And we will bring that in the game, in match, in the March release as well.
In match, but probably not in the lobby.
No, we will assess the reaction because there is a risk of toxicity which comes with this feature in terms of lobby dodging, etc. We want people to still being able to have fun.
I think that is honestly fair. This community is so like, in addition to whining, it's so toxic. There is a reason why there's videos that exist explaining why Dead by Daylight is like the most toxic game ever, over even League of Legends. Like, we thought Tarkov was bad. You ain't seen nothing yet, girl. Because this is a giant cesspool of failed development. I could not think. It's so bad, dude. Like, it's just a cesspool of toxicity. That's what this game is. And I think that's fair because the lobby dodging is something I've never really done or thought about. I know Orange does it sometimes. Just like, but the Orange's reason is partly high prestigious, but also like with map offerings and just what people bring and whatnot. So I get it. I think them trying to like limit toxicity is a really important thing for this game. But obviously it's gonna piss some people off.
And experiment with their perk setups and loadouts. So we will determine later, depending on the conversation which happen in match, to see if ultimately we will bring it in the lobby, but not.
Interesting that it's going to be in the matches.
And the final
but
one
not
being
in
the prestige.
Prestige rewards. So that's something we want to do right. We want
Okay.
it to be exciting, but we want to find the right
I
balance.
just want to say before they finish the statement, I'm really hoping they keep the ones we have. The first 3 prestige rewards of like unlocking that perk and getting it like maxed out for everybody is such a huge thing. Then the next 3 rewards, right? A full bloody outfit for the character is super cool as well. In fact, I have a full one, and I know Orange has a lot more full ones to me. I just have the one so far. And then of course after that you get like fun little charms of the perk like picture, and I think those 3 things are fun. What I'm hoping they do with the prestige rewards is I'm really hoping they keep the ones that we have, but just add more, maybe to certain like very exciting prestige levels to get a character to or something. But we'll see.
what is exciting, but something which we can deliver not forever, in forever, something which works with all licenses that we have in the game. And so we think we have something really cool, but that will also come with that release.
Great. So this has been a very high-level, top-down view of what we've got planned over the next number of months. There's
just
definitely
want
going to
Freddy
be
to get
more
more
that's
stuff,
involved. There's going to
man.
be more detail with each of our releases for sure.
That would be cool.
So stay tuned to our channels. Stay tuned to every patch note we put out there. We're going to be putting a lot more effort on our bugs, on visibility for you on what we're working on, and going to go from there. So thank you to the community. Thank you to Jose for joining
you.
us. Thank
Thanks,
you to the
everyone.
community for keeping us accountable. We know it's not been the easiest couple weeks for you. We're
No,
right there
fuck
with you,
you.
and we're going to get through it. And we've got a great plan to address a lot of this stuff.
I hope
Hang in there
so.
with us, and we'll see you online.
Thanks, everyone.
I feel like the people that say behavior doesn't do anything, or that they don't oh, get fucked, bitch. They bricked your Switch too. Get fucked, bitch. But like I'm really hoping, man, like I'm kind of like I've said briefly earlier, I'm optimistic that we will get something that they will do. Oh hey, there's one of our videos. Let's go. You should watch this. Please watch this. I know it's an hour and 12 minutes. Shut up. Please watch this if you love us. Anyways, this game has a lot of issues. This game has a lot of problems. This game, unfortunately, it does. And one of the big complaints that the community loves to throw out is that, it's very reactionary with certain things. If something horrible happens, like, say, the live stream I gave the example of from years ago, where it was, like, the flashlights, like, literally him getting blinded the entire match. That led to so many, like, things against flashlights that have really helped the game overall. The live stream that just happened was apparently like the hacking and Chandler just dipping and odd suggestions seemingly going unnoticed or unwanted, and a number of other things. Like, these happen, and then magically, we get some sort of news, and that's frustrating to a lot of players. There's so many players that some are joking, I'm sure, and I'm sure a lot of them are not. There's kind of become a bit of a joke among the community that I see like all the time on community posts and whatnot about how like we should bully the developers, about how we should force the developers to like do a live stream and then just bully them the entire live stream and like force them to make changes, like force them to fix the game, basically, to be aware of these bugs and to do something about it and to finally address player issues. And I understand to an extent of where they're coming from, but kind of like I've mentioned, like I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to not get too pissed off at them because I'm aware game development is hard, making characters is hard, making maps is hard, and I'm very happy that they're going to try to limit things and just really divert resources back into quality of life. Really put resources into the quality of life improvements and really try to get this game where it needs to be. I'm very happy they're aware that for the last number of months, this game has unfortunately dropped the ball. This game has not been, has a lot of complaints. The complaints are so bad that it makes me more thankful that like I'm super busy and can't play the game. I hate that I'm super busy, but I'm also thankful to not be playing this game. You know what I mean? But I'm really hoping, and again, I think I'm more optimistic than I would say 90% of the community, maybe even 99% of the community, with how much complaining the Dead by Daylight community loves to do, and how much complaining they will continue to do, regardless of what they, regardless of what's put out there, regardless of what gets fixed, regardless of whatever they do, people will still be complaining and bitching and complaining, and it's kind of annoying, but I get it. I understand there's a lot of issues. But again, I'm more optimistic than 90 to maybe even 99% of the community. And I'm willing to continue making videos, continue reading things, continue trying to get the benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping Orange will continue to chime in comment sections on my videos and leave more information, explain why certain things are problematic, right? Explain that X change in this patch actually broke a bunch of stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that us Darva suggestions and whatnot will actually be hopefully like able to be considered in the future. I'm hoping he'll continue to let people know what's going on, and other YouTubers, and someday, preferably soon, but I'm really hoping that come that March release, after everything that's going to be happening in the rest of August and September, after everything that's happening in October, November, and December, and now January, after everything that will happen in February, and of course leading up to that March release, because that March chapter that may or may not even have the survivor, it might just be a map. That March update seems to be kind of where their goal lies right now. It sounds like all of these changes and whatnot to the March one will be leading up. It sounds like the March is kind of their goal right now, and obviously I'm sure they'll continue to do stuff afterwards, but it sounds like right now they've set their kind of goal date on that March one, with some stuff obviously happening before that March one to make the game as good as possible. Before I continue rambling on way too long, I'm aware this video is like quadruple, probably more than the original video length. I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot, and it means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.